Well, for the second time this afternoon, good afternoon friends, followers and channel members. Right, already I've discovered there's a slight problem. Now, I need to work out if we've got a problem with the McDo itself. Oh no, we've just got a problem with the link. So basically what's been happening is I've been trying to type away on the McDo, just try and get things sorted. Every time I enter a number in, I'm getting doubles. Look at this. So that's quite annoying. Perhaps resetting the server will sort that out. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can sort that. It's been fun and games so far today, hasn't it? So let me just link the McDo back up to the tablet and see if we can get this working. Nick, you've never heard of these two airports? Seriously? Right, let's just check this is all working in. Is this oh, there we go. There's obviously an error with the server. Right, so welcome back to hopefully a full flight from Charleroi or Brussels South to Ljubljana. We're still got the same destination, we've just got a different departure airport. I think we're going to have to do away with the freeware mod, Gatwick mod, aren't we? Too much for me, particularly whilst we are streaming as well. Welcome on board everyone. Due to that delay, we're going to have to try and get out of here as soon as possible. So with everything already prepped, let's get that APU started quick. 1, 2, 3. APU's running, overheads all as should be. Right, everything is where it should be as well down here. I've already gone through and set that up. We need some fuel though, so let's have a quick look. Oh, do you know what? This is so nice. I'm flying about, there's no FPS drops or anything like that. Please import the flight plan from SimBrief. Yes, that would not be a bad idea. You've got that in the chat if you're on YouTube. So OFP, and again, exactly the same sort of getting. The weather doesn't change for our arrival airport, so I don't see any reason. Do you know what? 5.5 tons should be more than plenty. So let's load that. We want 5.5 tons of fuel. There we go. And that is that's loading. Right, okay, so with the fuel guys doing their bit, APU is running. Now, what's happening with this flight plan? So I just want to check. We are going to be departing runway 24, and that is the Suffolk 4 uniform departure. There it is, Suffolk 4 uniform. Having a little issue just here. I've got let me just check what are the waypoints for this departure. So it's Aspix and then Sopok. Is that right? Let's find out. No, that doesn't look like the correct route at all. What's going on, guys? Right, do you know what? I'm going to re-import this, so I'm going to reset the init B page. So, don't often do this, but we have had this happen previously. So, Echo Bravo Charlie India to LJ, pop that in. We have to do this manually then, aren't we? So everything there is the same. That's nice. We've got the alternate, we've got the flight number, cost index, etc. So now the flight plan itself. Let's build this up manually, shall we? I'll pop this on the screen so you guys can see as we do this. So the departure is runway 24, the Sopu 4 uniform departure. There it is, and insert. That looks better, much better, thank you. And then our arrival is going to be the ILS 30, and that is the Digum 2 Lima. There it is, Digum 2 Lima. Now the VIA for that, I believe, is also the Ljubljana VOR, which is over the airfield. There it is. And then we're going to fly a nice teardrop approach into this in a couple of hours time. So LBL, let's insert, check that looks right. Quick look then at the navigation display as we flip through that. There it is. Stunning. Onto the RadNav page then, I want Golf Sierra Yankee in here. And that is for our engine out procedure. And then onto the Init B page. Before we go any further, let's check out those passengers, shall we? So APU bleeds coming on. So welcome on board, everyone. Thank you so much if you came with the first stream that started about maybe 30-40 minutes ago now, so that was a bit of a pain. So welcome Mark, Lando Lakes, Maverick on Twitch, Jacko's JRL on Twitch as well. Yeah, it's a Ryzen 5 3600 that we've got. J-Hog, hello to you. We've got Willie Caduck as well. Hey Willie, hope you're working not too hard. Arthur, good to see you. Chill Out Flight Channel, thanks for coming back on board with us. Chris Hogg, yeah, we're back. Hey Chalty, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Finnish Sim Pilot, hello to you as well. While we have Endor, thank you again for returning. Thomas Florence, hello. Hope I haven't missed anybody. Ignore the Nightbot, that's going to be giving completely wrong information now. Right, let's get the packs on 1 and 2, and self-loading cargo is about to start again following our earlier issues. We'll also come down and load the aircraft with the passenger weights. 162 passengers today.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so now open the doors and start letting our pass.
No breaks, easy in Brussels South, Charleroi. Yeah, they'd never really land here. This is a Ryanair base, but we're gonna keep that on the down low for now. Peter Scarab, welcome back, mate. I've added that role as well to the Discord whilst I was waiting things to set up. Just drop us a message and we'll get you added to that, Peter. Right, passengers are boarding. Let's continue. Right, so the Init B page. Let's see. So our zero fuel weight for our flight today is what? 59.3. And we've got a tailwind of 28. Fuel planning then 4.4. And have they finished loading the fuel? 5.5. Oh, look at that! Funnily enough, I was saying that they didn't always load in the exact amount. Well, a new experimental version feature. Looks like they are loading exactly the right amount. So that's going to be 5.5. Takeoff weight then becomes 64.6. And fuel for the alternate is shown as 1.1, so 1.2, round that up. That gives us an extra 15 minutes of flight time. Right, onto the performance page then whilst those passengers come on board. Let's see what SimSmart has for us now. So, Charleroi or Brussels South. I have been here in real life. It is about an hour's. I think we got the. I can't remember if we got the train or the bus to. I think it was the bus. Yeah, it's about an hour's drive to Brussels. It's pretty much like London Luton or London Oxford. It's nowhere near Brussels. Runway 24. We're going to use full length for the departure today. QNH is 1027, and anti-ice will be off. Dry. That takeoff weight was 646. Let's call it 647. Always like to go an extra 100 just in case. That's going to be normal. Flex is selected. Config 1 and put in the V speeds. Here we go. So onto the performance. It's 136, 136, 138. 2,500 meter runway for this. Thrust reduction acceleration is 1583. Yeah, rounded up 1590. That's fine. Flaps 1, and the flex is going to be 69. Engine out acceleration also. Now, I don't know this airport, so I just want to have a quick check to see if it gives us any sort of noise abatement. We're nowhere near a major built-up area, so I'm going to guess it's going to be noise abatement. Runway 24, that's fine. If it doesn't say anything, it's going to be noise abatement 2 as normal, which is what we've got in at the moment. General, general, general. Not had to do this for a while because, of course, we have everything on the app now, but this airport isn't included. I wonder why this airport isn't included in an EasyJet app. Parking information, general noise abatement procedures, continuous descent operations. Alright, noise abatement 1 it is. Right, that means everything we've got there is valid. Right, time for a quick brief then. Barry, thrust ratio is 2,100 and acceleration is 3,600 as per the AIP. Is that right? What page are you getting that from? No, 4.2. Is it 4.2? Let's have a quick check on that. Dun, 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 dun. Is it on the departure page? Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Right, in that case, it's basically noise abatement departure 1 then, isn't it? Yeah, departure 1, isn't it? So, takeoff is 2,100. So, we reduce thrust, takeoff power to 2,100, and then at 3,600, that is our acceleration. Let's go ahead and change those. Well spotted, Barry. Thank you very much. It is 2100. Acceleration is 36. And engine out. Oh, why doesn't that pop that in? Oh, there it is. It just took a while. Engine out as well. We'll put to 2-1. There it is. That took a while from me actually pressing enter for that coming in. Can you tell that this is a Ryanair base, Barry? And I'm unfamiliar with it. So now that's all done. Passengers are loading. Weather here in Charleroi is very nice. No problems getting back in here. Our takeoff weight is below the maximum landing weight. We're on the brand new experimental version of the fly-by-wire A320NX. No times to be available, to be aware of, and threats very minimal here, apart from the Ryanair aircraft. They're a threat. Minimum safe altitude 2,500, and then that increases ever so slightly to 2,600 as shown just there. No speed restrictions on the departure. Nice left-hand turn, which begins at 6 miles from Golf Sierra Yankee. So we'll get that turned on, and we've got that here. We are currently parked at stand 66. We can get rid of that one. We're currently parked at stand 66. We're going to push back facing east. Very short taxi then. And we're going to hold at Mike 7. Very, very short taxi. So there's a potential threat. Lots to do in the taxi time. And then, as we've just spoke about, that departure. Nothing really there to worry us too much. Initial climb out is 4,000. So let me just check that that is all set. Indeed it is.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
That's great, thank you.
Christian just confirming what Barry has said as well. What's really nice about that chart is it doesn't tell you it's 1,500 to 3,000. It actually gives you the altitudes included, doesn't it, with the 600 feet airport elevation. So good charts, very efficient of the Belgiums there. Right, have I got the integral lighting turned up? Thought it looked a bit dark. A couple of things to do, then we'll start running checks.
Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence, and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks, and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
Right, so just pre-planning the pushback. That looks good. Let's run some before start checks. So our cockpit preparation is completed. Signs are on an auto. Adheres, we checked 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 5.5 tons and it's balanced, of course. F&GS is set. Altimeter is 1027. We're at 580 feet. One discrepancy I have just noticed while flicking through the flight plan, just check this out for me. So we should go to Suffolk, then we should take Yankee 863 to Oglor. Now, I don't see anything until Digham, so I think we've got some discrepancy there, a 389 mile discrepancy. So I've just noticed that we've got a problem there. We're going to have to enter this manually. So from Suffolk, we should be taking the Yankee 863 airway. And then from Yankee 863, we should go to Oglor. From Oglor, we should go direct to Bannock's. So just insert that. Yeah, so from Oglor it's then direct to, in fact I don't need to do it this way, we can just type it in, can't we? So from Oglor it's B-A-N-U-X, after Oglor. After Bannock's it's direct to Babeg. After Babeg it's direct to Kumon. And after, I've spelt that incorrectly, go back. After Babeg it's spelled C-U-M-O-M. That's after Babeg, isn't it? Yep. So Kumon, after Kumon is Digham. That's better. And a distance of 534, 530 on the flight plan. Ooh, that was different, wasn't it? PT is still horrified at the near miss at the end of the last stream. The ATC will be in serious danger of losing his job. Yes, something went very, very wrong there, didn't it? Barry, SimSmart gave a default of 1533 because it's set to, well, it's actually set to EasyJet's default of 1,000 feet above airfield elevation. Now, funnily enough, in the real world, FlySmart also does this. It's down to the pilot flying to read the charts to make sure that that's correct, and if it's not, obviously amend it accordingly. So SimSmart actually did its job. The pilot, in this case, didn't. Right. Are we about ready to go? I think so.
Cabin crew, we're about ready to push back, so if you can please the door and cross-check, thank you.
Let's call the ground crew over.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Mark, you've not seen that happen before with the flight plan. That's why it's always worth just scooting through and making sure that everything looks right. And obviously if it doesn't look right, fix it. Kitchen Farmer, did I put my own voice into self-loading cargo? Yes, I did. I'm a geek.
Bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. We are cleared for start and push. Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Brussels South, traffic easy, 96 Fox Hotel, pushing back, stand 66, facing east.
Please release parking brake.
So got the beacon light on, nozzle steering's disconnected, and turn on transponder.
Parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Back we go. Barry, this is freeware, free from flightsim.to, very recently released, only a couple of days ago. Right, engine mode selected to start, and starting engine 1. Yes, very high quality freeware scenery this. What the heck is that guy doing? Matt Booth, we are on VATSIM.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times.
Parking
If
brakes
the
set.
air supply fails, masks will drop from above
Startup is
you.
complete. You
Pull a
may
mask
disconnect.
towards you to start the oxygen.
Roger. Good engine start.
Put the mask over your nose and mouth.
Have a good flight.
Hold in place with the strap.
Holding position waiting for the
Pull
visual.
on each
Thank you
side
and
to
goodbye.
adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
Okay, so just doing the after start flows. Now engine number 2 is up and running. So we want to, on the spoilers, check rudder is 0, flaps 1, and C of G is 25. After start checklist, anti-ice is off. Ecom status is checked, pitch trims 25 and rudder 0. Flight control checked. Full left. Full right, neutral, full up, full down, and neutral. Rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. Interactive Studio, I agree. I think it'd be nice if you could just slow that taxi down a little bit, wouldn't it? That'd be quite neat. Mark, you're very welcome for the FS2 crew video. Thank you for that. And Alberto, it's self-loading cargo. Currently speaking to the passengers. Right, so very short taxi out. Let me just grab the chart, make sure. You can't really get lost with this taxi, or at least shouldn't be able to. 66 to the end, turn right on Mike 7. Brussels South traffic easy, 96 Fox Hotel, taxiing now on Foxtrot. Correction, on Golf to holding point Mike 7 for runway 24. Okay. So, PEDS check. No change to performance. It's going to be a flex of 69, QNH 1027. Engine out procedure here. Well, again, this hasn't. We've not actually got one for Charleroi. However, we would do something sensible, which is essentially for this, we would almost follow the missed approach. So we would we would fly a standard engine out procedure. We'd fly straight out, get above 2,500 feet, make a right-hand turn and come back in and hold at the Golf Sierra Yankee VOR at 3,000 feet. Our departure is the Subhawk 4 uniform and our initial climb out is 4,000. So yeah, once again, absolutely fantastic freeware scenery, this one. Shame it's a Ryanair base. Flight controls have been checked. Departure briefing is confirmed. Flap setting config 1. FMA takeoff data 136 blue, 138 magenta, climb nav blue, 1FD2, 4000 blue. Flex is 69. We'll hold here, clean up the ECAM. So we'll just ding the cabin. Transponder is set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed, and I think we're about ready to go. Let's tell the cabin crew to get their backsides in their seats.
Cabin crew, if you could take your seats for takeoff, please.
Okay, just check the approach. Approach looks good. Looking at this, I like to see we've got starting to get some green in the trees now from Rex AccuSeasons. Brussels South Easy 96 Fox Hotel, lining up runway 24 for the Subhawk 4 uniform departure. So before takeoff, checklist below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode selector is norm. Don't forget the packs. And the TCAS. So TCAS, TARA, packs are off. Anti-ice also off. Welcome on board, everyone. Departing this Ryanair base. Ugh. But the scenery is very, very nice. We're going to have the sun in our eyes for this departure, aren't we? Honestly, can't believe the difference in the sim from Gatwick to here. Smooth as anything. Right, how long those engines been running? 4.5 minutes, that's fine. Okay, takeoff. Start the chrono. Set 50% N1. Set takeoff thrust. Oh, we've gone Mantoga, my mistake. That's okay though, you can do that. Anyway, Mantoga, SRS and runway. Checked. I need to tighten my detents upon my thrust levers. V1. Rotate. Nav. I would say goodbye Brussels, but Brussels is actually miles away. Bastion, it's just stops for EasyJet to do packs off. And thrust climb. No ATC around, so we're going to continue our climb out now. We'll set flight level 200. And now we're in open climb mode. Engage autopilot 1. predictive wind shear was turned off. In fact, the weather radar was turned off as well. It doesn't actually matter because it's in op, but I do keep putting that on normally just to keep the flows correct. Just pop the anti-ice on as the temperature starts to drop and we start to head through the clouds. Let's clean up then, past S speed. We'll wait till we get through this cloud base and then this cloud layer, and then we shall allow our cabin crew to start prepping your drinks. And here we go, left hand turn is coming up shortly. Black Sonic Cute, thank you so much for subscribing. Really do appreciate that. I love the fact you can see the cars and the vehicles at this altitude as well. Very neat. Getting smaller and smaller, but it is just there. Can just see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
So as we're passing 10,000 feet, we've just got the lights off. We'll clear out the rad nav page. I think the seatbelt signs can come off as well, actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened.
And 390 blue.
Unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Brian says thank you for the custom views, they are perfect. Thank you, Brian, hope you're enjoying them. If anybody else wants to download these views, and then you can just assign them to a key to swap quickly between them, they're available on our Discord server. Peter says this is nice. The dog and cat have been fed, now making dinner for the rest of the family with me on the big screen in the kitchen, and the wife shaking her head at me. Don't shake your head at him, he's a legend, is Peter on the channel. And one of the reasons we like flying into Copenhagen. I'm backing you up there, Peter. Those geeks, we've got to stick together. Great scenery. Now, not quite sure what time the sun will set in Ljubljana, but it may be a bit of an evening landing tonight. No speed restrictions either on our departure out, so accelerating away, as you can see, to 290 knots. Just wondering, could we see... oh, wrong side. Could we still see Charleroi? There it is, I think. There's our departure airport just there. But yeah, Brussels really is actually nowhere near. not the main part of Brussels. Mr. North Monmouth, how do pilots know where the runway is? That depends. Either using instruments or looking outside the window, depending on what kind of aircraft you are flying. 1607 Zulu is sunset, is it, Thomas? Oh, well, we're going to be about 20 minutes late. Shouldn't be pitch black, but should have a nice sunset landing. Mikhail, do I have the payware? What, for Charleroi? Because, no, I don't have payware for that. Brian, you brought Renton yesterday. Amazing scenery. Looking forward to flying the maiden 737 flight out of there. Wonder when that will be available. No word as yet. Mayo, the A320 is your favourite plane? Absolutely. Straightforward and easy to fly. Don't have to think too much. And if anything goes wrong, chances are it's pilot error. Experience, why is there no weather radar on the 320NX? Just because of the way they're rebuilding their system, their custom systems. It's not yet available. And it's also to do with the fact that Azobo haven't released sort of that they've not opened it up to the software developers, so they can't code it yet. Barry Charleroi is pronounced Charleroi. Really? That can't be right, can it? Charleroi. I thought it was at least Charleroi. Smooth, have I ever done EasyJet in real life? Oh yeah. Yeah. Talia Johnson, good day to you. Christian, yeah, that's what I thought. Charleroi. Flying firefighters, any tips for learning the cockpit flows? Repetition. And to be honest, the flows in the Airbus are nice and straightforward. Nothing too difficult about those at all. Unlike some other aircraft I could mention. Barrage Aviation landing should be in around about an hour or so. Just looking at the flight plan. Oh, at the moment it's 17:15, but we're still in the climb, so I do expect that to drop. Obviously moving away from the sun now. And just as we're in the climb there, Peter, now on our Discord server, you have the real world ATCO role as well. Redgar says Charleroi is correct, not Roy. Well, what do I know? I'm not Belgian. I pronounce as I see. Lachlan Mitchell, what does real ops mean? So real ops basically means we do everything as close to the real world as we possibly can here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Experience says it would be really awesome if someone creates a 777 like the 320NX. The problem with the 777 is it's an aging aircraft now, isn't it? Replaced obviously by the Dreamliner. And just saying that makes me feel old. I remember when the 777 was brand new. Delta Tango says DC Designs are releasing Concorde on the 30th of March. Will I get it? Oof. I mean, Concorde for me is the pinnacle of commercial aviation. Nothing will ever come close to the beauty that was Concorde. And even if another supersonic airliner does come out in the future, it won't have the same majesty. The way that the engineers built Concorde and got it up working, flying, and it was just a technical marvel. Nowadays, of course, technology has moved on, so it's almost insulting we don't have supersonic travel for paying passengers nowadays. But will I get it? Probably not. And the only reason I wouldn't do is I think Concorde, to fly it correctly, it's not a single person, a single pilot aircraft. it's incredibly difficult. I think it's like something like 40-45 minutes just to set up. They're not going to be doing any 30-minute turnarounds, that's for sure. Lachlan, how do I switch between the cameras so fast? So these are custom views that you can download, install. Very easy to install, takes 30 seconds. It's just a file that you pop into your simulator in the Sim Objects folder for the Sim Objects Airplanes, and then the A320NX folder. And once you've done that, you press Control Alt 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and you can cycle through them. So Control Alt 1 2 3 4 5 6. I think we've got a couple more, so 7, just peering over the glare shield. We can head outside as well. It's about 10,000 feet to go, then we'll be at our cruising altitude. Quite a few twists and turns in this flight route, isn't it? Christian says it's the Concorde. It takes 40 minutes to set up, but only one little flappy bird to stop it. What a piece of a continental aircraft. No bitterness here. Lachlan, is that not the cockpit cameras 1, 2, 3? No, not cockpit cameras, custom cameras. They're different. Delta Tango says he agrees when Concorde was retired, aviation took a massive step back. It did, didn't it? And it was so sad that they retired it. I mean, I can understand why. At the end of the day, it's a commercial venture. If it doesn't make money, can't afford to fly it. I mean, if it was flying now, God, can you imagine what a ticket price on that thing would be? I dread to think. Mr. Dino 2000, you know, it's a strange question to ask while in the air, but is the brake fan switch working in this version of the A320NX, and is it actually producing an effect on the brake temperatures? That has worked for a while, yes. I'm almost certain that is the case, so it should still be the case now, because it was working months ago. Robert Finner-Smith, you tried the Spitfire the other night. Was it any good? I must admit, I've not got the Spitfire. Just not because I don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm much more commercial aviation. And Frank Abbott says, but people would pay it. Yeah, presuming you're talking about the Concorde ticket. But would enough people pay it, Frank? Clearly not, which is why. Which is why it's no longer with us, sadly. I mean, even my 7-year-old marvels at Concorde. He's never seen it fly. He never will see it fly, apart from on old YouTube videos. But even he, at 7 years old, appreciates what an amazing aircraft it is. I mean, obviously, it looks a bit funky as well, doesn't it, compared to commercial aircraft of today. But just the speed, how fast it could fly compared to all the others. It's luxury. He's 7 years old, and Concorde, amongst a couple of others, are his favourite aircraft. Now this is interesting. The no smoking sign is remaining on, or rather the no smoking ECAM is remaining on. I believe on the real aircraft that actually disappears above a certain altitude, probably about 10,000 feet. Brian Crawley, it still looks modern. Concorde, yeah. Oh, I mean, how old was I when it retired? When did it retire? 2003. So I was about 19, 20 when it retired. And with it, I lost the dream of being able to fly in it one day. As I'm sure many others did. Delta Tango, you were in London when the 3 Concords came in for the last time. Everyone was stood still. Oh, I remember watching it on the news. And I don't mind admitting, I said I was 1920 and I had a very slight tear in my eye. Thinking that's it. That's the end. Redguard, out of curiosity, why do you keep the airports in view on the display? Because if something goes bang, you need to know where you're going. And it's situational awareness, really. Mr. Dino 2000, there are some design attempts from Boom Supersonic in the USA to try and bring back a Mach 2 concept on the market. As far as you know, it's called the Overture aircraft concept. Yeah, even if they did, I mean, good luck to them. But even if they did, it ain't gonna be no Concorde. Talia, do you have it set to auto or on for no smoking light? It should be on, not auto. I want to double check that though. Let's have a quick look. Ah. Oh. Well, no, it should actually be on auto. The signs there should be on and auto. Again, it's company SOPs, so take from that what you will. Frankie used to sit at the end of 27 right and watch it take off. What a sight! Oh, and how loud! I can still remember being same place actually. 27 right. Lachlan, on Discord, if you're looking for any files, you'll find them in the pilot's briefing room. Roger, thank you for following on Twitch. Hope you're well. Right, about 1700 feet to go, then we'll be at the top of our cruise. Gonna keep watching for this crosswind coming in from the right. This should start to increase as we fly. I'm having a mental block. What country is Echo Tango? I mean, we're in Germany at the moment. Echo Delta. Echo Delta. There's, is it Frankfurt? What? Echo Tango. Oh, hang on. Yeah, honestly, I'm having a mental block. One of you guys can answer me. Mike Reed, an EasyJet Concorde livery. I don't think so. That would be wrong on every conceivable level. Mark, you've missed the takeoff. Teams meeting again. Aren't they annoying? Lachlan, is the file safe? I should hope so. We've got a few thousand people using it. Aerofly channel, hello to you. Mark, you're sick of work getting in the way, aren't we all? 500 feet to go, then we're at the top of our climb and we'll be on the ground in around about an hour or so. Just checking, yeah, 17:11, maybe a little under an hour. Thomas, is that German military Echo Tango? Fair enough. That's probably why I didn't recognise it. I knew Christian would be able to answer. Ramstein. I'm going to show my ignorance now. Who or what is Ramstein? Is it a place? Is it a country? Is it like the Vatican? The Martin, my graphic settings are available to see in a separate video where I go through them following, I think it was Sim Update 7. Mac Alt Cruise, and I've not changed them since then. Welcome to 39,000 feet, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and shouldn't be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means passengers are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
So we'll have a look at the fuel as well in a moment, just because I'm using a fuel flow of +7, I think it is today. Normally we're on +10, but we've always been quite high. One of the things I've noticed, and I don't know if anybody else has, there's no APU fuel burn. So if you turn on the APU, I'm not quite sure what it's running off. It's a US air base. It's also a band, yeah. Peter Scarp, yeah, placed in Germany and also a metal band. Interactive, hey, question here. What would be the best offline ATC software? You'd love to improve the realism of the flights, but you're not quite ready for VATSIM just yet. Microsoft default is rubbish. Yes, indeed it is. Is it Pro ATC? I used to have it with FSX. I think it's available for Microsoft Flight Simulator now, isn't it? Christian says, what do you know? What do you mean you don't know Ramstein Air Base? I don't. Is it commercial? Honestly, what I know about military aviation, you can write on a postage stamp. Right, we've got 4 ton of fuel, and at Bannock's, what should we have? Ljubljana! That would be lovely if you subscribed, thank you so much. Get the flypad back turned on now, we're up and running. Pilot to ATC, Michael, that's the one I was trying to think of. So, Bannock's, what should we have? Well, what did we load? Did we take... Do you know what? I can't remember how much fuel we took. Did we take 6 ton? No, we took 5.5. Took 5.5, so that's 1, 2, about 350 kilograms of fuel extra. So, at Bannock's, we should have just under 3.5 tons of fuel. We're fine. Absolutely fine. Matt Bill, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Ryan651 as well. And you're from Malaysia, AirAsia, of course. Yes, if you're EasyJet out there. Quite a famous crash, wasn't there, with AirAsia a few years back? Ljubljana, it is an Airbus A320neo. Yes, that is indeed correct. So just check we haven't had any sort of fuel leak. 1.6 tons of fuel, give or take, used. That's fine. Yeah, that's good. The bleed air page is all fine. Cabin pressure 8,000 feet. Pressure differential is 8.1. Electrical page 3,000 psi. All hydraulics look good. There you go, fuel used, giving you an exact quantity. I forget that's there, so I don't have to do some mental maths. Talia sounds like something isn't happy in VPilot. Something hasn't been happy in VPilot since they updated to Velocity. Lachlan Mitchell, what's the path to install? Oh, are you talking about the camera views? Right. Let me see if I can remember it. Hang on. So it is local cache, sim objects, airplanes, fly-by-wire A320neo. There, that is the file that you're adding in. Now bear in mind that in this airplanes folder, this folder, the fly-by-wire A320neo, may not be there, so you'll need to add that exactly as you see it here. Create a folder called fly-by-wire underscore A320 underscore neo. Capitals in the correct places and everything. It is case sensitive, and then just pop in the cameras folder file. Hope that helps. Are we about to have a TCAS TARA? No, we're not. He's 1,000 feet beneath us. There shouldn't be a problem. Can anybody see him? No contrail. Did anybody spot him? I didn't. He's gone now anyway. Right, well, as we're flying along then, we should probably have a look at some en route weathers. We can see our flight path just here, so let's have a look. What should we, where should we have a look for? So as we leave Charleroi, we can have a look perhaps at Stuttgart and Munich are probably not bad shouts. Zurich as well. But yeah, I think certainly Munich and Stuttgart. Okay, let's send off a weather request for those. Lachlan, would I recommend Navigraph? Absolutely. Schneider, you just started watching us on YouTube. Oh, well, hope you're enjoying the content. Thank you for coming on board the live flight. So I'm going to just pop in LJ. We'll have that in as the top one. And then as we're en route, we'll go for Munich, Wikage, Echo Delta Delta Mike. Then where was the other one I said? Having a look at let's have a look at Zurich. Although, no, actually Zurich's a bit too far south. We'll go Stuttgart, which is Echo Delta Delta Sierra. And we'll leave the alternate in as well. Lima Delta Zulu Alpha. Dante Mundo on Twitch, thank you for the follow. Christian, you would pay for a lifetime Navigraph subscription if it were available. Ooh, imagine how much that would cost. Right, we should be on the ground in about, let's see, about 45 minutes. Company messages come through. Let's see what we can expect. So winds currently 213 at 3. That's nice. Nice light winds. 12 degrees. Munich is wide open with Cav OK. Very little winds. Zada is also little winds. Cav OK. That's our alternate. And Stuttgart Cav OK. Yeah, just looking out the window, I think we could tell that where we're heading is very cav okay. Very, very cav okay looking at that. Alex Clavora, hello. Thanks for coming on board. Shall we have a look at the approach then into Ljubljana? I would say it's quite straightforward, but there is some terrain to be aware of. Now, I've never landed here, so this is again a new experience for me. So let's see, at Digum we're going to fly straight to the Ljubljana VOR, and from here we're then going to fly outbound 137, 30 miles. It's a left turn, back in and around, capture the ILS. A nice teardrop approach. Now, we've got the terrain that we need to be aware of as we're coming in and down. So let's work out how we're going to do this and remain nice and safe. So it's 7,000 feet we want to be at Ljubljana. That's the lowest we can get down to, 7,000. So I want to know, what is the airport elevation? So it's 1,200 the airport elevation. So if we're at 7,000, that's 5,800 above aerodrome level. 4,000 feet is the platform altitude. So in this little teardrop we're going to have to lose 3,000 feet. Now if we're losing 3,000 feet, that's around about 9 miles to get a good decent rate of descent on that, a normal 3-degree descent. It's about 9 miles. We'll be slowing down as well, so potentially a little longer. We've got 13 miles or so to do it, so that's okay. We just want to be absolutely green dot by the time we're at Ljubljana VOR. So that's okay, happy with that. So we want 7,000 feet at Ljubljana and no lower than 1,200 feet at 10 miles from Ljubljana. Now this is quite interesting because we've then only got 10 miles to lose 5,000 feet. So that is going to be quite tough. So it's no good going green dot at Ljubljana. We need to be green dot before here. Otherwise, we're going to struggle. So if we are... we could... you know what? We could potentially be green dot flaps 1. Yeah. Because we need to lose altitude, we need to lose a lot of altitude after we've passed this terrain. I want to be green dot flaps 1, 10 miles from Lima Bravo Lima, and then 7,000 feet from flight level 120 here down to 7,000 here, 7,000 feet here, straight down to the platform altitude 4,000 feet. Right, should we start going and have a look at programming that in? Alex, you're are we from you're from Ljubljana? Oh, fantastic! In that case, have I just briefed the approach correctly? Braj Aviation, hello to you. Ace Stream, look out for the gold car track next to the terminal. Do you reckon that's going to be modded? Right, let's work out how we're going to go and program all this in now. We've just done some discussion on briefing it. So if we go to our fixes page, no, I don't want to do a lateral reversion. Try again. There we go. Fixes page. Let's bring up the star again. So 10 miles from Ljubljana, I want to be flight level 120. We are currently at what? Are we at 39? Peter Scarab, you'd best be off indeed. Yes, can't watch TV whilst eating. That is indeed frowned upon. However, if we just gave you a view like that to watch on TV whilst eating, you could just turn me down and enjoy a beautiful... It'd be like you're having some really, really posh aircraft food. Wouldn't it? Thanks very much, Pete. We'll see you soon. Anyway, back to this this approach. So, what was I checking? Flight level 390. Yeah, we are flight level 390. So we want to be flight level 120 at 10 miles from Ljubljana. So we need to lose 27,000 feet. Multiplied by 3 is 81. We've got a slight tailwind as well today, haven't we? And we need to slow down. I want to be green. No, I don't just want to be green dot. I also want to be flaps 1. So with that tailwind, I'm going to add 20 miles to that, which means 101 miles. So from LBL, the one 250 miles away, not 4,000. Let's put a radius there, 101 miles away. So I need to get down and we need to slow down. So that is our top of descent now now initiated. So just over 120 miles away is our top of descent. Pop that into plan mode and we'll just see what else we need to add on to this. Obviously this looks a little daft at the moment because of the airspeed we've got, but I assure you that looks to be planned all rather neatly. So let's just check the waypoints involved. So Diegum is the start. And then 290 Juliet. Let me just minimize this. 290 Juliet, which is just there. That's going to be the 10 miles from Lima Bravo Lima, because Juliet is the 10th letter of the alphabet. So that's 10 miles just there on the radial of 290. We are then going to fly towards the VOR, which is Lima Bravo Lima. We're then going to fly the outbound track of 137, according to this. There it is, 137, and that's to 13 miles out, as shown by Delta 137. That's the radial, and Mike being the 13th letter of the alphabet. And then from there we turn towards Charlie India 30, which is just here, and then Basta. And at Basta, that's where we want to be at the platform altitude 4,000 feet to capture the glide slope. So everything there is coded correctly. Interesting to note as well, we've got a max speed here of 210 knots. Well, that's not going to be an issue. I'm probably going to be doing something like 180 knots by the time we get here. So that's all fine. Libina Andorra, mate, what the heck are you going on about in the chat? You're making my head hurt. Please stop. Dr. Magic, what have you missed? Absolutely nothing. Christian, have you just got rid of Ljubljana? Ljubljana. Libina. Thank you so much. So now I've briefed the approach that I want to be flaps 1 configured here to help us get down nice and slow. Otherwise we're not going to make it. Then the only other thing to be aware of is terrain. That's going to be our biggest threat, isn't it? Once we come down here. With Cav OK, we should be VMC, so that shouldn't be a problem for us. We should be able to see. And let's have a look. Where do we go once landed? It's going to be a nice long runway, so potentially Foxtrot or Golf would make more sense. Yeah, Golf would definitely make more sense. Come off at Golf. And then it's Popper straight into the terminal. How long's the... sorry, how wide is the runway? 45 metres, standard. Okay guys, we're all briefed. We know what we're doing, we know when we're doing it, we know why we're doing it. $226 miles to go. Dante Munder on Twitch asks, do I ever fly with VR? No, sadly the PC is nowhere near strong enough for that. Alan, what are these suppressed messages? They're not suppressed messages, I'll show you exactly what they are. It's vPilot with all these illegal operations. Does everybody else get this, or is it just me? I hope everyone gets this, otherwise I've got something not right. I mean, I'm presuming you're only getting this if you're... They're basically the old model matching problems, aren't they? But yeah, that's... whenever you hear a beep in the background, it's that's what it is.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So you guys are not getting that message? That's not filling me with confidence. They're SIM Connect errors, aren't they? Yeah, J-Hawk, sounds like I broke that again too. Not sure what's happening there. Maybe I need to reinstall vPilot. Nick says SIM Connect problem, maybe a reinstall of SIM Connect. How do you install SIM Connect? Is that something that's installed automatically with something? I don't ever recall making a specific installation of SIM Connect. Talia, you're currently checking if the APU is burning fuel in the latest experimental build. Let me know how you get on with that. Is the sun starting to drop now? Oh yeah. There it is. Kinda wish the terrain radar was working for this flight. Barry, you're looking at the missed approach for runway 30. You don't want to have to fly that. Well, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest threats. Do you know what? Shall I make this easy for you? Okay, let's get back into the flight deck. Let's make this easy. So, It's always nice when you've got some sort of visual reference. So if I had to fly the missed approach, you've got so much going on, I'd love to be able to just look down at my navigation display and think, right, I need to fly that line. West Castle Model Railway, hi mate. You switched off rolling catch in the last update, you've not had it switched back on, not noticed any difference with it off. Can you explain what it is? If you've got a decent internet connection, it probably makes no difference to you. But for me, because I've got an okay internet connection, but I'm also streaming, so it's just trying to reduce the bandwidth. So the less I've got to download, the better. Hang on, I've got another intruder in my scopes. 15 miles out. He's 1,000 feet beneath me, so he's fine. Once we've done this, we'll have a look at sorting out that missed approach. Shouldn't give us a TA when he's 1,000 feet beneath us. There he is. That doesn't look 1,000 feet beneath us though, does it? Not by any stretch of the imagination. He's gone now anyway. Right. So this missed approach. Let's see how we can make it look pretty and understandable. Alright, let's go. So climb straight ahead to marker Whiskey. No idea what that is, but it looks pretty much like it's where the Ljubljana VOR is. Normally it says something like the middle marker or something like that, but marker Whiskey is... Oh, there you go. It's 2.2 miles from Lima Juliet Bravo. Okay, that's fine. So, in the RadNav page then, I'm going to pop in Lima Juliet... I'm going to put... oh, hang on. Is Lima Juliet Bravo the ILS? Yes, it is. Right, so we fly 2.2 miles on the runway heading from the ILS DME. Once we've reached that, we make a left-hand turn back round to 137, and looking at this track here, we intercept the 172 radial outbound from Lima Bravo Lima. So let's go ahead. In fact, I'm just, whilst I'm on this page, going to pop in Lima Bravo Lima there. And enter the top one. Right, now let's go to the fixes page. So, Lima Bravo Lima. I can also pop a radial then just there. Let me zoom in a little bit. So let's pop that radial in there, which is 172. There we are. And then when we are 13 miles out from Lima Bravo Lima, or at Delta 172 Mike, let's pop that in then. Delta 172 Mike. We then make a left-hand turn to 052 to hold at the Dulsco VOR. Which is Delta Oscar Lima. Frequency 1127. There we go. And we need to intercept the 232 inbound, which is 052 reciprocal. So, what is it? 232. There we go. And thanks to the holding function, we would then be able to do that quite easily. Let me just send off another weather request, get the latest weather, and then we'll pop that into the perf page, and we should be on our way down. So now, if we go to the plan page, that should make sense. Okay, so daft as it looks, that is our missed approach. So we're going to fly 2.2 miles, make a left turn until we come back in, and then we just fly along this blue line. Once we get here, we make a left-hand turn again to intercept this blue line, and we enter the hold at Delta Oscar Lima. Simples! One thing I did fail to capture though was what altitude. 6,000 feet. 6,000 feet. Tell you what, if we end up having a missed approach now, I'm really glad we've coded all that in. Tally Johnson, so far no APU fuel burn. It did used to burn it, didn't it? I'm almost certain it did. Okay, so the weather that we can expect. We have got wind 240 at 3. That's going to be nice and gentle. 240 at 3. 11 degrees. QNH is 1013. Correction, 1031. Dyslexic moment. Transition altitude, this is a weird one, is 10,500 feet. So a reminder, we're planning it's going to be runway 30. We're on the Degum to Lima. Platform altitude for the arrival is 4,000 feet. And the MSA as we're coming in, well, as we're coming in, it's 10,500 feet to the north of the airfield. Let's bring this in. Yeah, 10,500 feet to the north. And then it drops down 8,000, 6,000. And then CAV OK, we're going to be using Cat 1 minimums from a visual range above 550 meters. Altitude is 1391. Right. Brian, it always surprises you that you don't need one of the fuel pumps for the APU. You know, you're doing the 737. Yeah, someone asked me this recently. You don't. The Airbus has does have an APU fuel pump, but it started automatically. That's essentially that's the master APU switch. So I don't know if this is linked, but essentially that's almost like a fuel pump, and then that's the ignition. Great views now as we start to approach the terrain. Let you guys enjoy that while I just fill out the perf page. Nice light winds, that's what we want. Transition altitude 10,500 feet. Barrow is 1391. VAP is 128, VLS is 123. One thing I should have brought into our brief for the missed, for the go around and the missed approach, there's a max speed of 185 knots on that first left hand turn. That is S speed, so we'll be making all that turn at flaps 1. Lachlan, when you land, you turn on the APU again? Yes, yes you do. Cornish Nome 01 on Twitch, thank you for subscribing. So how far are we away from that top of descent marker? Oh, we've just passed it. That's okay, but we do need to head down. Right, we're going to head down then 1,200 feet. So file 120.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, which was
Thrust idle open descent 120 blue.
If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear, the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easy Gentle Seat Pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
West Castle Model Railway says thanks for the rolling cash answer. Considering investing in some rudder pedals to go with the TM Captain packs, do I use them? Sadly, no. I just haven't got room for them at the moment. There's plenty of rubbish under this desk. One other thing I'm checking as we're approaching Digham now is the Mora. Pretty certain we're safe. Actually, at Digham we don't want to be any lower than flight level 140. So do you know what? I'm just going to lift that up. Flight level 140 blue. Hans Aviation, I'm indeed using self-loading cargo. Christian, what did I answer? Did I answer a question, when do I with yes? Yeah, that sounds like me. We're getting the stock turbulence now as we fly over some terrain. Nice little valley down there, isn't it? But imagine now, here's a scenario for you. Imagine now we get a double engine failure. What do? Our airport is 60, let me see what we got. It's 100 we've got 102 track miles. So it's probably, just looking at the chart there, it's about 70 miles away. And we're at 31,000 feet. Mark says you pray. Gene, SimSmart Flex Temp Calculator, the performance calculator, should be out. We want to try and get it out before the 19th if possible. We're very close. There's just a few things that we need to confirm and then we're going to get it ready for release. Getting it ready for release is the easy bit. It's just making sure everything's working prior to that. Woo! That was a bit of wind shear. Now look at the tailwind. 64 knots. And I want it to be... Oh god, passengers, hold on to your hats. And your sick bags.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are traveling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance.
Okay, roll that speed back 270 knots. And I now, if you are just joining us, the brief is I want to be flight level 120 by this waypoint here. Not only that, I want to be green dot on flaps 1, as we have 10 miles to get down to 7,000 feet. And then 7,000 feet down to 4,000 feet, flying the teardrop approach. So this is indeed the fun bit. Evening landings in Microsoft Flight Simulator always do look amazing, don't they? Oh, look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Where they shall also be selling sick bags. Okay, so the seatbelt signs are on nice and early. Let's do the approach checklist. So the seatbelt signs are on. Our arrival brief is confirmed. Minimums are set 1,391 feet. Engine mode selector is normal. EFB is stowed. "10,000 feet to lose," and that is our waypoint. And I also want to be green dot, so I am just gonna. So I don't want to be green dot. Actually, I want to be config 1. Let's just wind that speed back up to fly to speed 280 knots. There's some rugged terrain around here, boys and girls, isn't there? Lots to think about on this approach. Now, just to the left of us, there is a valley you can see, so land is much flatter down here. That would be sort of an escape route. But what I would be aiming to do if suddenly, let's just say you lost all electrical power, you lost instruments, then my choice would be to almost go and revert back to Cessna mode. You would imagine we were VMC as IMC as well, so we couldn't see the terrain. You would have to continue. If you were in IMC, you would have to continue to know that you were nice and safe. VMC, of course, we could perhaps divert around here, and again, just looking at the charts, you could continue. We would continue out, and then I'd look to come in and land on the opposite runway. There's no ILS; it'd just be a VOR approach, as it is, of course. We have the luxury of working engines. So higher than normal. I'm now going to activate the approach phase, so that is done nice and early. Thrust idle. Get the landing system on, so that's one less thing to forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed that we have just begun our final descent into our destination. If you could now assist the cabin crew by tidying up your tray table and handing them any litter as they come around, that would be most appreciated. For safety reasons, we ask now that you please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use. If you wish to become a EasyJet Sim Pilot channel member, please contact a member of your cabin crew who will be happy to assist you. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed your flight.
Brian asks if you cut both engines with the rat deploy in this. I don't think so. And I'm not going to try it right now. You can deploy it manually, of course. Barry, you're slightly hoping for a missed approach. Yeah, we know you love it when things don't go to plan. Everyone loves it when things don't go to plan. Right, we're past Degum, so let's continue down flight level 120 blue. Just reduce the brightness of the displays as the sun starts to drop. Place like this, of course, remember, I'm not working for a perfect CDA. So just putting a little bit of spoilers out. In fact, you know what? Don't need those. We can pop those away. That's all good. Speed, Alt Star. Right, I'm going to pop that into manage speed. Start losing our speed, bleeding that off. Get flaps 1 out after we've passed here, and remember we're going to head down to 7,000 feet, ideally to try and be 7,000 feet as close to Ljubljana VOR as possible. We're going to overfly the airport, make the teardrop approach. In fact, you can see the airport straight ahead of us. I've not seen the arrival charts for the VOR approach, but there must be they can't be directly straight in unless they come in through the valley down here, so we're much lower. Otherwise, imagine popping out over the mountains here, you'd be far, far too high. Runway Filming 5-3, hello. If you've enjoyed this Monday afternoon flight, guys, please don't forget to hit that like button. Always helps YouTube find us if you've hit that like button, and who knows, they may find us just for the landing, which is arguably the most exciting bit. So as soon as we pass here in 3 miles, we're going to head down. Right, so that's green dot, and we're going to go flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. Okay, so now let's start heading down 7,000 feet. Thrust idle, up descent, and local pressure. Oh, First Officer George is on one because I've just heard the smoke alarm. I really hope that's my wife's attempt at cooking tea. The dog don't like the smoke alarm. I might have to let First Officer George into the office. Might calm him down. Alright, let's kill some fairies. Get the landing lights on as well. I know we're not quite at 10,000 feet, but even so. Want to be ahead of the game with this this approach. Okay, let's add the extra drag as well. I'm going to go flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2. Might get a little balloon in a moment, but... And then we should get some decent rate of descent going on. Now, just want to check the RadNav page. 1105 for the ILS. Yeah, that's there. Just need to get that identified as we fly over the airfield. There it is. So our teardrop shape is going to round to the right and then back in and land. Ljubljana traffic, easy 69 Fox Hotel, approaching the overhead Lima Bravo Lima VOR to make the teardrop approach left-hand traffic for runway 30. Okay, now we've done that, we can get down 4,000 feet, which is our platform altitude, 4,000 blue. Still just waiting for the ILS to populate. We're potentially in the blank spot of it by now because we're right overhead. We're also 7,500 feet overhead, so the beam obviously spreads out the further away you get. But if not, the runway lights are on. Oh, there we go. Lima Bravo Juliet is identified. Lovely. This looks a little bit interesting. It's not perfect, this flight path, is it? Just see what happens just here. Is it going to continue to fly straight? I believe it is, so that's okay. Right, I'm happy now just to reduce that rate of descent as well a little bit. Only 1,500 feet to go.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Why does HD always arrive at the most inappropriate moment? Good evening, HD. How's your first officer doing? Hope he's nice and empty. Loads of time to get down to that platform. Here it comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Really hoping these waypoints are accurate. We're getting rather close to that terrain, but 4,000 feet is the platform, and we are indeed safe according to the charts. To say that terrain's at 2,000 feet, so there's only a couple of thousand feet between us. So our left-hand turn should now begin, then we'll arm the approach. Very nice.
2,500.
That's going to be bobbing up and down that radio altimeter with the terrain beneath us.
$2,500.
Okay, let's arm the approach. Glide slope blue, lock blue, cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2.
$2,500.
And there's our airfield. Christian, it is getting dark now rather fast. We did say, didn't we? The sun set, was it about 10 minutes ago here? Here we go, localizer is on the move. Ljubljana traffic, Easy 96 Fox Hotel is establishing runway 3012 miles.
2,500.
Here comes the glide slope.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
Ten miles out. Glide slope captured, mixed approach altitude 6,000 feet set.
2,500.
Down we go. HD, I recall you saying you'd never been here, and
2,500.
the approach that we've just done has been really nice. Lots to think about. Configured nice and early, otherwise, given the terrain in front of us on the approach, we don't get down quick enough. 8 mile final. Nice long runway as well. Vacating to the right. Missed approach is straight ahead runway track 2.2 mile DME from the ILS, left hand turn and follow and intercept the blue dashed lines. Right, let's start to slow it down and configure. 6.5 miles. Gear down. Spoilers armed. Flaps 3, speed checked. Flaps 3. Five miles, flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed, go around altitude 6,000 blue, and ECA memo landing, no blue.
1,000.
Autopilot off, I have control. The wind is light and variable. Approach is stable. Interesting, the PAP is just differing ever so slightly there, aren't they? One from left to right. I didn't think we were at any sort of bank angle.
300, 100 above. 200. Minimum.
Continue.
100.
Is that really the minimums? That was close.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Spoilers deployed. Reverse green. $70 knots, reverse off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may
Ljubljana
now
traffic
be
easy,
used.
96 Fox Hotel vacated,
Please make
runway
sure to
30.
take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
And the taxi is rather straightforward here on Golf. We'll take Papa to the right and then just pick one of the stands. Straight in front of us should be the cargo terminal, so maybe we'll go left. Oh, in fact, actually, there's the cargo terminal, as you can see. So, yes, straight ahead. Right, guys, as soon as we've parked up, I am going to have to shoot off. First Officer George wants his tea. Thank you so much for joining me on this Monday afternoon flight. We should be back tomorrow night for our Tuesday Real Ops. I can guarantee we will not be at Gatwick. We'll find somewhere else sensible. But I think we're going to have to avoid Gatwick for the time being. Perhaps look for some of that payware scenery and see how we get on with that. Right, parking brakes are set. Barry Barton, thank you so much for your very generous €9.99 donation. Barry says that for flying from a Belgian airport, even if even if it was a Ryanair base. We'll not mention that. Seatbelt signs can come off, beacon light off, external power, and standby. Right, guys, I really do have to shoot. Thanks to the delay we had a little bit earlier on, it's been a longer stream than anticipated. Thanks so much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Speak to you soon. Have a great Monday. Bye-bye.